Hey guys, welcome back. Another edition of the Detour Live. I've still got a bit of the Joe Cockers this morning, but I'll give me a couple more days to be able to shake it. I'm your host, Dan Jones, joined as always by four-time national road champion from Australia, Johnny Trevorrow. If he is a pretty good stage two. I mean, they had the obviously the bridge, the Battle of the Bridge lined up, expecting massive crosswinds. When we went up to the start of the bridge, we had the King Kanga as a bit of a wind meter. So we had a look at the flag, and there was a bit of a roaring head crosswind. But yeah, what do you make of the stage, mate?
Well, I was surprised in a couple of ways. I was surprised at the start. Everyone obviously was nervous about the bridge or whatever, but they just let Maggie with Magnus Court jumped up the road, and of course Danish, he wants to get in that break. And then he got joined by the Norwegian guy, and then the other guy, two B&B guys come across, but no one else. The fact that the main teams wanted to that suited them to let a little break of four, but everyone else just gave up. I thought it's Tour de France. We've been watching every Grand Tour we've watched recently. To get in the break, it's been like an hour of 50k an hour. Every day on the Giro to get in that break.
Yeah.
And everyone just let it go. All the other teams that needed to be
They're going soft, John.
Well, I almost like they were too nervous. Everyone was that nervous about this bloody bridge.
Yeah.
Anyway, it turned out.
Well, the first crash on the bridge.
Hadn't been the headwind. It would have been absolutely chaotic. It would have been all over the place like a dog's dinner. But that headwind just contained everything. So it made all the difference. But that big crashes, they happened 1K earlier. Well, what would the difference be? I mean, you got 60 or 80 bike riders who ended up getting bunch time who all would have been lost, including our mate, the Pog. He would have lost a couple of minutes. So, yeah, it turned out amazing. And
the crowd's unbelievable. I mean, you always see big crowds when you have 3 days in another country. They always get behind it. You remember any time they've gone to the places like the UK. But
the Yorkshire one was amazing. Matter of fact, I've just been texting back and forth with Whitey, and I just we should try and get him on. But he said these are the biggest crowds he'd seen the tour since Yorkshire, or other than Yorkshire, because Yorkshire was the biggest I'd ever seen. But I don't know. I'm not there, but I reckon it was even bigger. It looked to me. I'm watching it. I'm thinking, you started 30k out of Copenhagen, and there's just millions of people on the road. It was just mind-boggling.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. I obviously got a few interviews before the start. I'll show you the first batch of the interviews pre-start, and then I'll show you the Kanga Awards because we've got a pretty good grab with Yves Lampaert.
Well, I just heard back from Whitey. If you flick him a thing now, he can come on quickly. Straight away, but because he's got to go, so I reckon it'd be worth talking to him because,
there's the link, mate. All right, sending the link. All right, we'll just paddle it out and wait for Whitey.
Well, if we're going to be talking to him, he's probably going to be talking about Dylan. So he told me that he was wrapped in the way the team rode. There was just one mistake in the finale, and I know exactly where it was too, in that corner about 700 out. He was right in the right spot, and it just got squeezed. But also talk about my pick, Caleb, because I was listening to the commentary, a couple of different channels, commentators sort of saying he's not in great form, whatever. He's in sensational form. The way he put them away in the intermediate sprint shows he's got the form. He can't take anything away from the guy who won, but he would have been there. But he ran into it. It was great to listen to. I know you got a little grab with him because I've seen it. So I'm looking forward to listening to that too. But it was an amazing finish. I'm really Fabio Jakobsen. It's a beautiful story. We all know. I suppose we've got to talk about it. He nearly died a couple of years ago, but that's the facts. And it's his first Tour de France, and to come out like that with all of the stuff with Lefevre leaving out, Cav. Well, as he said, I don't have to justify myself. I'll just keep winning, is what he said.
Yeah.
2 out of 2. He shut everyone up there, hasn't he?
We've got a couple of live questions. Stuart McIntosh, great question on the family farm. To Eve's Dan, keep coming up with different angles. And didn't your old Maggie put on a show for the Danish fans? Great work all around. We're going to show that interview a little bit later. Magnus is the winner of the kangaroo. So I'll be presenting him with the Stage 2 award this morning. I'll be winding him up because when Magnus first came to Green Edge, he didn't really know anyone. So they said, get around the new guy. So I used to give him haircuts in Girona for a bottle of warm beer. And he's such a funny, dry-witted guy. All he does is wear denim. We had him on the show, obviously.
Yeah, I remember. That was great. But what I loved about it, he got out first one, as soon as they fired the gun, they had to wait a little while a couple got back from punches and stuff. He was up the road straight away, started the break, and then he went for those 3 KOMs. As soon as he got the third one, which meant he gets the jersey tomorrow, it was celebration like he just won the stage. And he's yahooing and it was just
he's waving the crowd. And then when he was up on the podium, you saw the photo or the images of Maggie. He just looked like a cheeky little school kid, and they were just chanting his name, and he was just, he was
sensational.
A couple more comments. Gavin says a cookie cutter sort of stage with some interest in last 20 Ks. Sally says enjoyed seeing Yves Lampaert reaction to the kangaroo. Seemed genuinely touched. He did, and that was advice from George Bennett and Sam Bewley. I said, what would a European rider like? And they said, I'll get like a little kangaroo. They'll love that. So it'll be interesting to see the reaction.
That was a beautiful interview. I mean, chapeau to you, mate, because you're asking the good questions. I set the high standard, I set the bar high after the Giro, and you've stepped right up there, no problems at all.
Yeah.
But he was just such a nice guy. He came out in the interview, so a bit of time for him. Yeah.
Skull, what's on your shirt, Dan? It is a dog wearing a hat with hair. So Fiona says, Dad, we need you to be well for our couch Peloton fix. Maybe soothing honey tea to help. We can't do the tour without you. It's not the same. Absolutely loving the daily Kanga prize. Thanks, Fiona. I will get on to the hot tea. And the Wheel Wizard doesn't miss a trick. He says, can you tell me why Vingegaard is not in the white jersey, Iffy? When it's under 26, Story is under 26. He's 25 plus 103 days. And Vingegaard is 80 days older.
That's a good question. But it's under 26 for the... Yeah, no, I can't answer that.
No.
It's a good question. But and obviously we've got something wrong, but we'll have to check that one out for him. Now Will Wizard had to go at me for saying vinegar wrong. Well, he spelled it wrong then, so he's got 2 G's. It's vinegar.
Okay.
So there you go. Will Wizard, you got it wrong. Get your spelling right, mate.
Well, let's run these interviews anyway. And if Whitey comes on, they only go for a couple of minutes. So
yep.
All right, here's the interviews from before the start.
Hello, Bjorn. Obviously a big day today, mate. How are you feeling coming into this stage?
I feel pretty good. Should be the first sprint opportunity, but I think it's there's a fair bit of chance of crosswinds today, so we'll see what happens.
What's always fascinating me is every team wants to be at the front near the final. How do you navigate that other than a bit of argy-bargy and old school hip and shoulders?
Well, I think we have the benefit, we have a team pretty much full of classics riders almost. So
big units too.
Yeah. So I think we'll have a bit of an advantage there. But yeah, like you said, every DS is saying to their riders, be at the front, and there's 200 guys trying to be at the front, and obviously there's not enough room for that. So yeah, I think it'll make it a bit of carnage.
And a bit of technical final there. I think 2.8 to go. There's a hard right and then a hard left at the end. Done a bit of research, mate. But yeah, I mean, you must be well versed as to where to be at what time.
Yeah, I think the more technical the final, the better for me. So I think there's going to be a big race off the bridge, and then a big race into the last left-hander with 700 to go. And then I think it's just going to be who has the most guys left at the end there after that 700 metres that will get the lead out right.
Well, all the best, mate. I'm sure all of Australia will be cheering you on.
Cheers. Thanks.
Matt White, I was just thinking, it's been a long time since the team had a pure sprinter at the Tour de France. How does it feel coming into the first sprint stage this year?
Exciting, mate. It's exciting. It's also it's a different stress as well when you haven't got a GC guy. Obviously, when you've got a GC leader, which we've had for many, many years here, you've always got to have 100% attention of where that guy is. And we're going into the race with more of a one-day mindset, and we can attack a day like today as it's our last. So it's exciting, and Dylan's really looking forward to show his wares back on the biggest stage in world cycling.
I'd argue that it's more fun having just going for the sprints, because it is a circus at the best of time, the Tour de France. But when you can really just hone in on those particular days, I think, do you find that it is better for maybe the staff and that as well?
Oh, it's going back to our roots, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's how we started as a bunch of opportunists. And we came here the first couple of years with Gossi, but that was a long time ago. And Dylan's been a really good acquisition to the team this year. Already had 5 wins, but we're looking at winning here on the biggest stage with him. And that first goal starts today.
Well, one thing with sprinters is, they do feed off confidence, and, Dylan seems like that rider that is confident in his ability, that must give confidence to the guys around him.
It is, and look, I don't think it's ever been easy. It's never easy changing teams. Dylan's basically spent a vast majority of his career at Jumbo-Visma, but the change has been a good one this year. The key for us has been Luka Mezgec. He's the professor has been a really, really valuable link with Dylan, and the vast majority of their race program has been together this year, and they've developed a really strong bond very, very quickly. I think that's going to hold us in good stead for the Tour.
And also having Dylan that takes a bit of the pressure off Bling for those sort of medium finishes.
Oh, 100%, and we've got that ability there that if something happens, crosswinds or the stage is too hard for Dylan, that we've got Bling there as backup. And then also Bling has also evolved a lot over the years. He's never has been a pure sprinter. He's very, very fast, but what he's evolved over the last couple of years there is his best chance at winning here in the Tour de France is going to be probably in a medium mountain stage or a very selective final.
It's the old green edge 1-2 punch.
Hey, it's good. It's a good one to have. It's a good one to have.
All right. Well, we've crossed from Matt White pre-start to Matt White live. How's it going, Whitey?
No, Whitey.
Yeah, good. Good.
Yeah, good, mate. We were just discussing then, there was obviously a big build-up to the battle on the bridge. There's obviously a few nerves, but how did it pan out in the end for you guys?
Oh, well, it could always go better unless you're winning, couldn't it? So we got to analyse what happened yesterday, and I think we went through the process really well as a team there. And one small mistake cost us in the final, but the boys rode really committed, a real good focus from the guys yesterday, and today we get another chance to turn things around.
Iffy?
Yeah, I watched it. At one stage, you had the whole team in line when the crunch was on, and it looked fantastic. And really, it was up into the last kilometre. It was all looking perfect. But then I know exactly where the spot you were when it took that bend. It got squeezed. Dylan got just squeezed that bit far back and never really recovered from that.
Yeah, this is a Tour de France. The boys actually did a very good job to actually avoid the crashes during the day today, and that's sometimes you've got to expend a little bit more energy to stay in the front when it matters. But at the end of the day, none of our guys were involved in any of those crashes yesterday. And yeah, you make a mistake at that speed. This is the Tour de France, and you end up paying for it. But I said we had a really good debrief yesterday, real constructive, and looking forward to see what the guys can do today.
You've got, I noticed you talk about the yin and the yang. You've got the Janssen and the Jensen, and they both did a fantastic job. The two Nords yesterday. Chris was, very strong on the front early in the day, but I was very impressed with the Norwegian Jensen in that finale. He was really, really strong.
Yeah, look, he one of the reasons we brought him across to the team there is we noticed what he was actually doing at Jumbo-Visma, and funny enough, he was actually doing it for Dylan. So a couple of years ago. So when Dylan was winning stages in the Tour de France a couple of years ago with Jumbo-Visma, he was his P3. So there was him, and then Tunissen was his last man. So they have experience working with each other.
Yeah.
Old Armand there, he had a big crash last year in the Tour de France, and basically it ruined the second half of his season last year. And then he got COVID pretty bad early in this year, and it's It's the first time I think we've seen him on really, really good form for 12 months, and it's perfect timing. We know he's got the experience to do that role, and it was very really good boost of confidence for Armand, and obviously for us as a group that that talent, that feel for those sprints hasn't gone anywhere.
Now, last question from me, because I know you've got to go. The whole COVID situation, I see, that Jumbo lost nearly half their staff, went out the other day. What's it like on the ground there right now?
Well, John, you were at the Giro. I think there's two big stresses here, and one's the racing, but the other one is something that we've only got partly control of, and that situation is that most of Europe has given up on COVID. It doesn't. If you left the bubble of cycling into the streets of Denmark, you wouldn't know that the pandemic even existed. And the battle for us and the challenge for us is to keep our staff and especially our riders COVID free over the next 3 weeks. And even now at hotels, it's not law for people serving us to wear masks. So we're taking all the precautions we can, but at the end of the day, I don't think we do a very good job. There's a reason. I think once bitten, twice shy, and we paid a price back in 2020 at the Giro when it was our biggest goal of the year, and we were doing everything we could there. But that was at the start of the pandemic, and since then we've had a good run at these races because we are taking every precaution possible. But it's one of those things that it's always in the back of my mind because it's something we can't see or feel, and we're just waiting for the next test and hoping that everyone returns a negative test, because at the end of the day, there's people now who are going positive with absolutely no symptoms. And we've got bubbles within bubbles. So obviously the rider bubble is the most crucial one. So anyone who's in contact with the guys always has to wear a mask. That includes when they're on the massage table and all the staff around them. And then the staff bubble, obviously we're eating together, we're rooming with each other and working with each other. So the most important thing is to keep that bubble safe on the outside. And that's when we come into people who aren't in our team, even with other teams, that we wear a mask and try to keep a safe distance away, because at the end of the day, no one else on the ground here is getting tested besides the people directly involved in the teams and certain members of the ASO.
I hope no prick burst the bubble. Is that right?
Yeah.
I hope no prick burst the bubble. Yes.
Right.
You were doing the best job of every team. You did at the Giro, mate, without doubt. So good on you, pal.
Well, I was just saying, speaking of COVID mask, Ian Page says, time for a new mask, Jones. That one looks like something Borat would wear. I put it in the dryer before I come over and it shrunk. So it's a bit too tight. And on my buff head, it looks terrible. Hey, before you go, Wheel Wizard keeps bugging us. He said, Mr. White will know exactly what is the cutoff limit for the under 26 white jersey classification, because he couldn't work out why Vingegaard's not in the white jersey and Storr is under 26. He said that 25 plus 103 days.
But I can tell you why he's not in, because buddy Pogacar's in front of him on the GC.
Well, there you go.
There's the answer.
Pogacar's
third on GC.
Well, there you go. Well, what?
I didn't think of it before.
That stuff. He's normally red hot. Before you go, Waddy, last one for me. Crowds, mate. Is that the biggest crowds you've seen?
No, the biggest crowds I've seen. It's the second biggest. The biggest crowds were Yorkshire. I don't think that'll ever be beaten. But Yorkshire was another level. But yesterday was very, very impressive. It was quite funny because I was reconning the stage a couple of days ago, and the only thing I saw was a couple of sheep out in those fields there. And 48 hours or 72 hours later, there was just wall to wall.
Amazing.
And the Danes are nuts about cycling, and geez, they came out and supported the race yesterday. It was, it's a challenge to take these events outside of France logistically, but when you see the ability for us to take our sport and the biggest event of our sport to another audience, and they come out and support the race and the teams the way they did, it certainly makes the effort worthwhile.
You must have got a laugh when you saw Maggie get the Mountains jersey and give the celebration and get the crowd going. You obviously know Maggie really well. Gave him his start in the World Tour.
Yeah, mate. He's a homeboy. He comes from a little island called Bjorn, which is a little island off Sweden actually. But so he's not from mainland Denmark, but he's a great lad. And we had a bit of a chuckle in the car there when he put the hammer down and put the poor old Frenchies in the locker, and they never came back. The third year, and the poor lads from the French team never saw him again. He's a class act, and you saw at the Vuelta last year, and he's won multiple stages in Grand Tours before, but he is one class act and a very, very young, very, very nice lad.
Will Wizard said he's not listed in the top 27 riders. He's not letting this one go. So he's not in the classification. So
okay. Well, I know why he's not wearing the jersey, but I can't answer the rest. We'll check it out for you.
We'll find out. We will get on it. Anyway, we better let you go, Whitey. Good luck today. Hopefully, it's a big day for Dylan and the team. And we'll check in again soon, mate.
Yeah, I think the weather it certainly looks a lot calmer wind-wise today, but unfortunately, there's a pretty good chance of rain. So that'll obviously add a little bit of different dynamic to the racing, but there certainly won't be as much wind as there was as yesterday.
All right, good stuff, mate.
Thanks, Whitey.
Speak to you soon. Okay. Cheers, Whitey.
See you, mate.
Mate White, we're going to take a quick drinks break. When we come back, I'll show the videos of the Kanga presentation, so stay tuned.
Look at this bike. You think it's just a bike, right? But it's not. It's a bike 374 people are looking at. This guy, this girl, them, all looking at it. People from here, there, and wherever this is. People that are looking for a bike. Or just a piece of it. Amateurs, semi-amateurs, and pro-amateurs. This guy wants this bike, but with this crank and these bars. This could be the perfect match. But not this one. This girl has a bike to sell, and thousands of people might purchase it. Eyes on Bikes help grow small businesses. His, hers, yours, and the latest data and insights help those businesses keep moving. We are the world's #1 bike marketplace, with over 500,000 products and 900 brands, where buyers and sellers are brought together in a place where a bike is never just a bike. Bike Exchange, where the world buys, sells, learns, and rides.
Thanks again to Bike Exchange for their amazing support. If you need anything iffy bike related, get across to bikeexchange.com.au. Just get
anything, anywhere in the world. They're the Bike Exchange are the biggest. Just jump on board and you'll get whatever you want.
All right, kangaroo presentation time. We had two ceremonies. We had the consolation prize with Michael Matthews and obviously the winner with Yves Lampaert. So let's have a look.
Michael Matthews, I've got good news and bad news.
What's that, mate?
Good news is you were nominated for the Couch Peloton Ride of the Day.
Today?
Yeah, from the time trial, because you're the top placed Australian. Bad news is you didn't win. You got knocked off by Lampard, but you won the yellow jersey. But like remember in primary school, you get a consolation prize. You get the Couch Peloton sticker. It's a badge of honour. Now, have you seen the film Gladiator?
Yes.
Remember that famous line, win the crowd, win your freedom?
Yeah.
Got a challenge for you. You're big on socials. Find a nice place to stick that.
Yeah.
Use the hashtags. And mate, you've already got a big support, but it'll just go viral.
All right, give it a crack. Thanks for the vote. Was it a vote or?
Yeah, there's a vote on Twitter.
Oh, great.
You were
Thanks
close.
very much.
Close.
Thanks very much. I was really happy with my ride yesterday. I think obviously the rain was different for different guys, and I got a whole heap of the rain in my ride. So, I mean, I gave my best. I risked as much as I thought was necessary, but there was other guys just faster on the day. So. Another day today. We've got a good sprint with Dylan, so looking forward to it.
But it's a good test to show that your legs are very good. And that must give you confidence.
Yeah, I think better than I felt last week in Swiss in the time trial. So, the power was good, everything, the speed was good, so looking good for the next 3 weeks.
Well, and I'm sure, mate, when you do find those legs and find the stage, there's a plush kangaroo up for grabs if you do win Ride of the Day, mate. So it's all chips in.
I'll take the kangaroo, mate, that's for sure.
All right, mate.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Yves, congratulations, my friend. Not just on the yellow jersey, but you're the first winner of the Couch Peloton Ride of the Day.
Oh, nice.
Everyone in Australia voted for you, my friend.
Oh,
And how does it feel?
yeah, special to see the people from the other side of the world who are also
Yeah.
enthusiastic about me. Yes, thank you.
And the Australians have the worst time zone to watch the tour. It finishes at 2 in the morning, but they were rapt to see you win. You're a big personality.
Yeah. It's nice. I say keep watching the race.
And
It's nice.
yeah, and today it's a big stage for you guys.
Yes, indeed. We have Fabio Jacobsen to do the bunch sprint today, and we hope to maybe take again the victory today.
And I saw in an interview you said, I'm just a farmer's son. What sort of things did you have on the farm? Was it sheep, cows?
No, we only had vegetables on the farm.
Oh, good.
Like leek, cauliflowers, zucchini.
So you were fit at a young age because they're healthy food.
Yeah. I had a wonderful youth in the past. Although I had to work quite a lot on the farm, but it's crazy that you come from the field and you go in the biggest race of the year, of the world also, and you take the yellow jersey. It's difficult to understand.
That's crazy, mate. Congratulations and good luck today.
Thank you.
What goes through your mind when you're...
Here we go. You worried I played that video yesterday?
Yeah, well, yesterday. Yeah,
No, we didn't.
you
play
did
the
play it
video.
yesterday.
On
Yes, you did.
Detour podcast.
Yeah.
How did I play it yesterday when I recorded it 3 hours after we did?
Oh, you just sent it to me yesterday, did you? And
Yeah.
okay. I'm thinking I've already seen it. That's all right. You know, it was a lovely story that when he won the Belgian road title, because he's won a few times, but when he won the Belgian road title, he bought his teammates a mini tractor each.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was a working model or whatever, but he gave them all, they give out watches and whatever. He gave out mini tractors.
Now, you sent me a link to a video that Lotto posted, which explains why Caleb didn't compete in the sprint. So let's just hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
Hey Caleb, how was your day? What happened today? Hey, how was your day? What happened today? Caleb, what happened there in the sprint?
Where do you want me to start speaking from? The bridge. Oh yeah, I was in pretty good position on the bridge, and then the first important point was the corner coming off the bridge. And it was pretty messy coming off there, and I was in pretty good position. And then I made up some positions in the corner, the first right-hander and then the second left-hander. And then it was kind of headwind all the way from like 2.5k to go till 700 meters to go. And it was super messy. There was like one big crash, but it was behind me. And then I can't really remember what happened. I remember it was just messy, and I was like fighting for wheels, looking to who had the best lead out. And then I actually turned the final corner in the last 700 meters in really good position. I was just behind, I think, Sagan and Jakobsen. And then there was kind of like a prop on the bridge, and then someone ran into my derailleur and it was bent. And it was just like my gears was like skipping, and I thought I'd just sprint anyway to try to get some points. I knew it was probably going to be too hard to win with skipping gears. And then like in the last few hundred meters, my chain just went like between my 11 and the frame, so then I just like couldn't actually even pedal anymore, so a bit disappointing. But yeah.
Did you get any points?
In the finish?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe a few.
So you had some points.
Like 4 points though.
4 is better than none, eh?
Yeah, intermediate I felt really good. Yeah, gave me a bit of confidence, but then, yeah. Well, I felt good in the finish as well, so it's always disappointing when like a mechanical or something forces you out of contention.
Well, there you go. It's funny, whenever you hear York talk, like, you know, he stirs them up. He goes, you still got points, yeah? Better than no points. Righto, stage 3, Iffy, who's your tip? You heard from White, it's going to be wet. The wind's not going to be as bad.
Well, I still go back to my same tip for yesterday, Caleb. Caleb's
good in
sensational
intermediate
form.
Yeah.
Oh, he looked great. Seriously, I was very impressed with Fabio Jakobsen in the finale yesterday because, what I loved about was two things. One, when he came in with Sagan, whatever you want to say it, Sagan, who's rough as bugger in these sprints, actually tried to intimidate him. He leaned on him. The way he just bounced off him and took the other line, it was just sensational. Did not affect him. Someone who nearly died in a sprint crash 2 years ago. You can see that is not even in his mind. He just banged Sagan out of the way and then went down the other side. And the way he finished, 50 metres to go, it didn't look like he maybe get third. And the way he just flew home, that was very impressive. I have no doubt that the two fastest guys here are Fabio and Caleb. And so I'm looking forward to them too, without any issues springing it out. And I'm told that the finish in Sonderberg is actually really, one of the best in not too many obstacles or things in the way. So it should be a ripper. And I think we'll see Dylan up there as well. So I'm looking forward to a great one. And Van Aert. How great Van Aert or Thou Art or whatever, because he was sensational as always. So, it'll be a ripper.
And women's Giro, Marianne Vos, Ivy. Is that her 31st Giro stage win?
Yeah, evidently. She is amazing. She went early the day before and got beaten in a photo finish. This time she went early again and they couldn't run her down. And second is the young Dutch girl with the coolest name in cycling, Charlotte Cool. Pretty lame. Sorry about that. But she was...
joke.
Yeah, third dad joke. Yeah, third the day before and second yesterday. So going very quick. And Elisa Balsamo, world champion, was third and still holds the lead. She's 6 seconds in front of Marianne. Georgia Baker third at 12. There was a split. So a group of them lost 6 seconds. So Kristen Faulkner has dropped back to fourth at 14 seconds. So they're still in the mix. See, Spratty, she might be down about 19th, but she is only 31 seconds down. So you got to remember this. We've got a few tough days to come. So we'll see how Amanda goes.
A couple more comments before we wrap things up. Jakobsen was the boss today, stage 2, and he's looking good for tomorrow. Hope to see Dylan right there at the end too. That's from Francisco Luna. And Prasad says, hi, good morning. Just wanted to check that all the riders are safe in yesterday's crashes. I don't think there's been any reports.
They all finished, and I don't think there's any bad ones. There was a lot of very lucky people. I think there's a few who were just out the back and just rode in with them and got given the time as well. But not that it matters. I mean, for most of those people, whether you lose a minute or not doesn't really matter. It's only the GC guys. And there's a few of them got caught up in that yesterday. Including the race favourite, Pogacar.
Our mate Nalsey wants to know, is Backstage Pass on again this year? Of course. Sam's over there with the Green Edge boys doing content every day. So make sure you check out their social channels. They'll be posting lots of good content. All right, if you got to wrap things up, got to head off to the start, mate. So we're going to wind up Magnus Court. Any other requests? I'm going to try and get Geraint Thomas as well. He's good value, so I'll ask him about the Gillet to see how he's travelling. He'll give us good content. So
they looked. The teams that really impressed me yesterday, their strength was Jumbo, because they just were in the right place at the right time all the time. Ineos too, whenever there was pressure coming on, when that direction changed, it was Ineos who jumped to the front as well. And of course, Quick Step also, very impressive. And Bike Exchange, they were, men on mission yesterday, and they rode perfectly just about all day. But that'll be a great finale today. Hopefully the rain stays away. What's it like there right now, mate?
A bit overcast. We're starting at Nicky Strobel's holiday pad. It's magnificent. So we've got a nice little lake down there. But it is a bit overcast. So
So you went across that really big bridge to the finish yesterday, and now you've driven right across that island and over another small bridge to the mainland.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't know where we are. We're in about 40 minutes from where it finished. But we're just going start to start, so it's awesome. We don't have the pressures. You know, when you're normally waiting around for 3 hours for the riders to come in, we can go off and go have a swim, and just that's why you're fresh at the start every day.
So what are you doing on tomorrow is the transfer day.
So we've got the
what are you
transfer
guys doing?
day. So we're going to be getting to the airport early. So we'll see how we go, trying to get a show out between the hours of 8 and 8:30 in the morning. We'll just have to get to the airport early, check our bags in, and then push our way through the hotel scrum, and then get onto the internet, and then see if we can knock out a show. If there are any logistical issues, we'll let you guys know on social. So,
well, we'll need to do one because we'll be talking about Caleb's great win.
That's right.
Okay.
No dramas.
All
right, mate. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. As we always say, youtube.com/Detour Podcast. Like, share, subscribe, tell your mates, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Be there, be square.
That's it. Bye.
This is the winning ride on the